The phone vibrated between us like a trapped insect. She didn't look at it. She looked at me. "My therapist says you're the source of my anxiety." The words landed softly, too softly, like a blade laid on skin before the pressure. I nodded. "I see." She exhaled, relieved, as if the diagnosis had finally been spoken out loud, as if my agreement mattered less than the permission it gave her to believe it. The phone kept buzzing. I stood, went to the bedroom, folded shirts with surgical precision, slid my watch into the side pocket, left the ring on the dresser, centered, aligned with the grain of the wood. On the kitchen counter, I wrote one sentence. Problem solved. "You're welcome." I closed the door without drama. 24 hours later, the texts began to scream. At first, I told myself this was about control, that she needed someone to blame so she could breathe again. I replayed moments like surveillance footage. The way she flinched when I asked where she'd been, how she muted her phone at night, the new vocabulary she'd picked up, boundaries, triggers, emotional labor, words she used like shields. There had been a tenderness once, quiet mornings, coffee cooling between us, the soft choreography of a shared life. Then came the distance, the therapy, the therapist. She said his name often, casually, too often. With reverence. I didn't accuse. I don't do that. Accusations are loud and imprecise. I prefer subtraction. Remove myself. Observe what collapses. Her messages piled up. "Where are you? This isn't funny. He says you're doing this to punish me. Please come home." I didn't reply. I opened the phone records. Not to read her messages, those are emotional lies, but to study patterns. Late-night calls. Same number. Long durations. Longer than a session. Longer than intimacy is supposed to last when it's professional. I checked the billing statements. Insurance codes. Sessions billed on days she'd claimed cancellations. Cash withdrawals after breakthroughs. I watched her from a distance. The way she scanned rooms now. The way she touched her throat when she thought she was alone. Anxiety, yes, but not because of me. Because secrets rot. I stayed calm. That was the hardest part. Calm is work. Calm is restraint sharpened into habit. I backed up her phone to the cloud she forgot she'd shared with me years ago. Old passwords. Old trust. The past has a way of keeping receipts. There were messages archived under a name that wasn't his. Clinical language softened into something intimate. Jokes. Late-night confessions. A photograph that never should have existed. Photograph that never should have existed. He didn't just listen. He touched. He crossed. I printed everything. Not for anger, for clarity. When I finally went back, the house felt smaller, as if it knew it had failed. She was waiting, eyes red, hands trembling. The therapist had told her this distance was a test, that my silence meant progress. I placed the folder on the table. Didn't open it. Didn't need to. "Is your anxiety worse," I asked, "or just louder?" She froze. I slid the folder toward her. 1 inch, 2. She opened it. Her face collapsed inward. The way buildings do when the foundation gives. "I can explain," she said. I nodded again. "I'm sure you can." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't ask questions I didn't already know the answers to. I told her what would happen next. I'd forwarded the documentation to the licensing board, the insurance provider, his supervisor, quietly, thoroughly, with timestamps. I'd changed the account passwords, froze the joint credit, moved my name off the lease. I'd already left. Her phone rang while I spoke. His name, the real one. She didn't answer. For the first time, she looked at me, not as a problem to solve, but as a variable she'd miscalculated. "You were never my anxiety," she whispered. I smiled, small, polite. "I know. I don't hate her. Hate requires proximity. I have distance now, space where trust used to live." The messages stopped after the board acknowledged receipt. Silence returned. This time it stayed. Some people confuse presence with power. They think if you remain, you're strong. They're wrong. Power is knowing when absence is the sharpest answer. I didn't fix her anxiety. I exposed it, and then I left it behind, exactly where it belonged.